In this video, we will work in preparing our 3D model for the analysis. The goal of preparing the model is to prepare selectable areas or locations in the model that we can then use to locate a fixture or a load. In this case, we have a solid beam as our 3D model. However, we're trying to add a fixture in the middle, a distributed force in one half, and a point force in the other. Within simulations, this means we need a joint in the middle, have a separate beam to take the distributed force, and have a point reference geometry for the point force. And thus, the changes we need to apply are to split the model and add in a reference point. Let's start with splitting the model. To split the model, we can use the split command. So I will go to the Analysis Preparation tab, and here we will have a number of tools that are typical for preparing models for analysis. And in our case, we want to split this beam into two, and so we're going to use the command split. To use split, we can start with a sketch. So I will select this surface here and click on Sketch. And then I will draw in a line that goes from one end to the other. After that, I'm going to add in a relation for this line to be at the midpoint of the beam. And this will fully define my sketch and have this line to be exactly at the center of the beam. And so now I can use this line as a base for my split. So I will go to the Analysis Preparation and select Split. And then I can select the Cut Part option, and this will cut the part into two, body 1 and body 2. Now that I'm satisfied with the preview of the cut, I can check those two boxes to save the bodies and then click on the green check mark. And now we have the command split and we have two bodies in our canvas. To make the interface cleaner, I'm going to hide the sketch I use for split. Now that we have the beam split, we will be able to have a joint in the middle for the fixture and apply a distributed force in one half of it. Keep in mind that splitting the beam basically makes it into two separate bodies. And we can see those bodies in the design tree here in the cut list. Now let's do the second adjustment, which is to add a point reference geometry. To do this, I will open up this menu for reference geometries and select Point. And then I will simply select this upper surface of one body and then have the selection to be center of face. And this will give us a preview of our new point. And once I'm satisfied with that, I can click on the green check mark. Now we have the point reference geometry. We will be able to use that as a way to tell the simulation package where we want the force to be. Before we conclude this video on preparing the model, let's go ahead and start a new simulation study to double check if our part is ready. So I will go to Simulation, New Study, Static Study, and then click on the green check mark. The first thing we will notice is that we don't have points for the joints. This happens because for some reasons, SOLIDWORKS will not interpret a split beam into two different beams. Rather, it will interpret them as solid bodies. However, we can fix that by asking the simulation package to treat our bodies as beams. So here in my simulation tree, I have the part called Simple Beam Case 2 and open that. And I can open that up. And this will show me my two solid bodies, the one on the right and the one on the left. It will also show me the material assigned to both. And notice the icon shown in the left of the body indicating that the simulation package is treating those as 3D solid bodies rather than one-dimensional beams. To change that, I can simply select both bodies, right-click, and then select the option Treat Selected Bodies as Beams. And once I do that, you will notice that we get our joints back. And by this, we conclude this video on preparing our model for simulation.